All right, good morning. We're back at it. For those that have been watching these, super fun way for us to give free training back to the real estate community. We've got a couple free packets that we're giving out today. One that we just revised for everybody. So if you want that, make sure you watch for the keywords. And then we're going to train on multiple topics. Hopefully you walk away from this taking a couple notes and you're able to go back to your market and do business. So good morning, everybody. Welcome Israel and Jen out of Arizona. We got Mitch out in California. We got Leonard out in the jungle, Knoxville, Tennessee. And we got Jess that kidnapped by aliens. We don't know where she is. What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Israel, I can see you got a new hat. There's new hardware on the wall behind you. I love it.
Yes. Representing.
Secret partnership coming out for Davis sales training and the brokerage team here soon. Way to give it out.
Crazy.
Hopefully that subliminal messaging communicates to that company that
that's
we're
right.
ready to rock and roll.
We'll tag them.
That's right. Anyways, yeah, good morning, everybody. So if you haven't watched these before, maybe you have. We started doing these about 2 months ago. And the whole idea was, how do we lower the failure rate? Let's get our leadership group all over the U.S. together on a call once a week. Let's give live training, answer questions from all our different platforms, offer more free training books to realtors that need it. And then let's put training in front of you, because access to the right training allows realtors to do more business. It's such a confusing industry. There's thousands of ways to skin the cat, but just because there's a way to do it doesn't mean it's going to put money in your bank account. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the YouTube video that talked about unlimited leads that just came out this week. Our Tuesday call, the free worldwide training call for realtors worldwide, which we just crossed over 100 realtors in there. There's the new workbook that we've adjusted that we'll talk about today as well. And then there's a couple team members that are absolutely crushing it. We're going to talk about what they're doing and how you can apply that to your own market and go back and do more business. So let's rock and roll. Okay, so let's talk about the Tuesday call. So Jess is on this call. She runs our social media department for the brokerage team. Her and I have gone through a lot of the same coaching. We've hired the same people. We've been exposed to the same types of training on social media, and all of it's focused on how to convert. So this call was great. We talked about how to convert more through Instagram ads. So you can see on the whiteboard, that's everything we went through. We talked about how to set up the ad, what type of ads you should run as a realtor, what's the messaging, how do you DM and convert on the back end. So anyone have any takeaways from that call or tips and tricks that we went over that you want to share with everybody?
I think for me, it was great call, super organized. I mean, gives you a roadmap as to when to post, how to post, the different topics, avatars. I think the questions that most realtors ask themselves, right? Sometimes you look at somebody being a little successful, you don't know why, but this is breaking down in a way that that makes sense, that you can follow up. I mean, we came out with a 90-day challenge. I'm super excited about that because I need a lot of help. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I mean, most realtors, when they run these ads, you're running an ad probably because you just got a listing or you just closed a deal. And so you run the ad and the messaging on the bottom is to book a consultation. Well, if you've got to look at it as a consumer, you see an ad, you have no idea who that person is. And there's a button to say, book a consultation. You're probably not going to click on it because it's too hard. It's too hard of an ask. But if it's asking me to look at their profile, I'll do that all day long. So it's just a lower barrier to entry when you run these ads so that people come to your profile. After they come to your profile, hopefully it's clean enough that they hit follow. And then once they hit follow, boom, you follow the entire strategy that we've got set up. And we talked about that on the Tuesday call. Any other thoughts, guys, in regards to what type of ads we mentioned? Or I know, Leonard, you've ran your first ads probably ever on a couple of your listings in the last little bit. Want to talk to us about your experience with that?
Yeah, running the ads, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I was a little skeptical about doing it just because it's like, oh, you got to do A, B, C, and D. But really when I did it, got the videos up and everything and started just pushing them to the right places, it started clicking. I mean, one of my videos have 28,000 views on it right now for one of my listings. And I got multiple people off of that have reached out to me to help buy a home. So it's been a pretty awesome turnaround.
I love that. Yeah, you guys can hop on Leonard's Instagram and go check it out. But it's really interesting how leveraging the right ads to your clients, getting them to come to your page, and then understanding what's the word track to follow up with them in the DMs to actually convert them. I mean, those are all free leads that are coming in, and most realtors aren't leveraging that for their business. Okay, Jess, any thoughts? You run our social media department. You've also obviously ran quite a bit of follower ads. Any tips, tricks, or takeaways or thoughts you want to?
I have. Actually, I just want to touch base for anybody that may not understand what a follower ad is and kind of what the pros of that are. So they lower your cost per engagement long term. They warm up cold audiences for retargeting. They increase social proof, especially in the real estate industry. They support organic content performance. And much more, obviously, right? Like they build a pixel audience for future listings, and in real estate, perception matters. So if someone lands on your page and they see that you only have 600 followers versus maybe 6,000, it subconsciously is going to affect what people think when they land there. And so I think people seeing ads constantly, it just kind of builds rapport, especially those follower ads. So that's my little take.
I would say two things too. If you're watching this, there's two reasons you would run an ad. One, to grow your local audience. Like I was talking to Dan Riley, you guys know him, realtor I used to coach up in Canada, and his organic content is crushing it. And I told him, I was like, imagine if you ran more follower ads and you had more gas on the fire. Not only would you have 6,000 followers, but you could have 20,000 followers in your local market, people that you would ideally want to work with. So that's one purpose you would run an ad, right? Like grow
Exactly.
your audience. Israel and Jen, you guys are in Arizona. Both of you have under 1,000 followers. There's what, 1,000 people within 2 blocks of you. Arizona is so dense. I was just there. Every time I'd ask Israel, hey, how far is the place we're going? He's like, oh, it's 15 minutes. I was like, what? On the map, it's like literally this small. He's like, yeah, about 15 minutes. And so anyways, you need more local people to follow you. That's the one reason we do this. And then the second one is obviously we're going to convert and get referrals and talk to people in the DM. So if you're not running Instagram ads, reach out to myself or Jess. We can hop on a Zoom call and walk you through that and answer any questions. If you want us to do that, comment down below wherever you're watching this, Instagram ads, and one of us will reach out to you. That way we can help you go through this. Okay, let's go to the YouTube episode. So recently I joined a group on Facebook. Israel invited me in there. And the number one question over the past couple of days has been, how do I get leads? And what is my schedule? Over and over. It's almost every other post. Realtors are asking that. So Israel, talk to us about that. And then obviously we can talk about the YouTube episode.
Yeah, I think that's the number one question. Like I think we mentioned before, realtors are not lazy. I mean, they know we need to go to work. It's just sometimes you don't know how to do the work. And sometimes the techniques are using or the pillars are using for prospecting, like open houses is a big one, right? But they don't know how to do them effectively and things like that. And the schedule, I think it's something that, you have to have it, but just you don't know what to put in there, how to organize it. One is prime time to do different activities, right? So things like that. But I mean, that's a lot of realtors in that group. And number one question is that has been, and we're just bringing value to people. So.
Yeah, like you said, right? There's thousands of ways to do business, but because that's the case, realtors get overwhelmed and they get confused and they don't know what to do to go get leads. And really, you have two choices. You either go join a massive team that spoon feeds you everything, but then you're building the team's brand and you never learn how to go get leads on your own. So now you're kind of screwed because you're always in handcuffs to that team because you don't know how to then go on your own. And now you're having to give out 60 or 70% of your check year round, no cap. When we've talked to realtors, all of us that are paying what, 70, 80, $100,000 a year for fees just to be handed leads, and they're converting at a 0.03% rate nationwide. So why not learn how to go get them on your own? And most prospecting methods we talk about in the YouTube video are free. Calling expireds, free. Running open houses, free. Door knocking, free. Reach out to your database, free. Now, there are platforms that you can pay for to make the process a little bit more efficient, But at the end of the day, those are all free ways to go get unlimited amount of leads, and actually leads that are going to convert and that want to do something that year with you. Leonard, you've seen that in your market. Jess, you've obviously seen that. Mitch, you've seen that closing. What was that? How many did you close last year?
7.
7 deals. So you saw that, right? Like even leveraging partnerships with your lender. Talk to us about that, because at the end of the day, that's not costing you anything. But again, it's a way for you to get a lot of leads for free.
Yeah, definitely. He is linked up to a city program for down payment assistance, and as the leads reach out to him, we team up and I take over finding them the house. And even if they don't work out for that city program, if they're looking in the area that I cover, we still benefit and help them out that way.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that works. You've seen it work. Doesn't cost you any money. You have the right partnerships. And that's what we talk about on the YouTube video is put your blinders on. Go pick 4 or 5 methods that really work for you and then just take off with it. I think a lot of people will say, hey, only use this method because it's the only way to get you leads. It's like, no, there's probably about anywhere from 5 to 9 that are really good bang for your bucks. You just figure out which ones work for you. Jen, talk to us a little bit about the open houses that you ran, because you're obviously crushing it on that. And within like a couple of weeks of doing 3 a week, that really didn't cost you hardly anything because you had the right partnership set up. You found one family and then put them under contract and they closed. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I go and find an open house that's near intersection, so it's easy to get to. And then I partner up with our title company, Tessie, and she does all of our marketing for us, like our flyers and our door jammers, because we also go door knocking as well. So sometimes we hold the open house for about 3 hours, sometimes 5 hours. We kind of keep it long, but we also do like a test trial to see what hours are considered the hot hours and kind of adjust from there as well too, and be like, okay, we have to have our open hours between this time to this time to have more people come through. But there are a lot of unrepresented buyers that do come in those open house, and that's how I was able to get my last transaction, which just closed about a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe. And yeah, now they're in a home. And the funny thing is, like, they weren't even looking to buy a house, and they were just visiting open houses. So it just worked out very well. And now they get to have their own beautiful home.
Love it. So again, leverage the right partnerships, have the right prospecting method. It's like you have your line in the water where the fish actually are. People are coming into open houses. They're unrepresented, right? You guys just heard from Jen talk about this. And so that's an easy way to get a lot of good quality leads, and it doesn't cost you anything. So if you guys are watching this and you want to reach out to Jen, give her a call. She'll break down her whole process for you, or follow her on Instagram and shoot her a DM. On the YouTube version of this live, I'll have everybody's profiles put in there so you can just easily find her. Leonard, you want to chat a little bit about door knocking, or we might have Israel go?
Yeah, I could throw some stuff in there. I think for me, the easiest way I found to really get in front of people, and that's the whole name of the game, right? We need to talk to more people. You need more exposure. So one of the best ways I found to do it is just by going door to door and door knocking in neighborhoods, especially like Jen said, if you're doing an open house, go knock the neighborhood, go knock that specific streets around it. I've done that a ton for open houses. Or if I have a listing, or if a buyer's looking in a certain neighborhood, I'll just go in the neighborhood and I'll go door knocking for hours. And just like one quick little story, how that converts is I had a listing in, I think it was April last year, door knocked the neighborhood, found that the neighbor, his mom, had a house she needed to sell on the other side of town, went, listed that house for sale, door knocked the neighborhood, found 2 buyers. Each of the buyers had about $30,000 to $40,000 in cash, and they were renting. They were just looking to buy their first home. So we got both of them under contract within a month just off door knocking. It's like one step leads to the other. When you have one deal, you got to go try and make 2 or 3 deals out of that deal. Best way to do that is go talk to people.
Yep. And again, unlimited at bats, and it costs you nothing, right? So don't get trapped that you have to go spend all this money for people to give you crappy leads that never convert. You can go get leads, quality leads that don't cost you anything, and they're actually going to convert at some point, right? So anyways, love it. Okay, so if you haven't watched this YouTube video, go back and watch it. It talks about all the most bang for your buck ways to go get leads. All right, let's transition over to 2 people on our brokerage team that are doing really, really well. So obviously we have Frankie up in Kansas City that has 4 signed listings from expireds in the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So he's really taken off with this. And then we have Israel in Arizona that has 4 under contract, 2 active listings. And he finally got over 125 contacts from door knocking. So I'm glad that you're up and alive and working finally again. All right, let's talk about Frankie for a minute, and then we'll talk about Israel. So those that haven't hit expireds, again, 4 expireds, 4 listings in 2 weeks. Let's say an average commission of $15,000 per deal. That's almost $60,000 in his bank account once these sell from 2 weeks of work. And the platform he's using is Vulcan 7, maybe out 80 to $100 a month. And then he'll make all that back after these are closed. So if you're watching this and you're not hitting expireds and you have not closed any deals and you have no deals in the pipeline, it just baffles me that realtors aren't doing this for 1 to 2 hours a day. These are people that want to sell, had really bad experiences, or the market just, it didn't sell for whatever reason, and they want to interview somebody else. Frankie called one guy the other day and got 2 listings from it. Yep, 2 listings from it. And so simply on your schedule for 1 to 2 hours a day, call expireds. The process is really simple. We talk about it in our free Tuesday call, which if you're watching this and you're not in there, comment worldwide free training down below and we'll reach out and give you the free link for that. But we talk about the process to sign expireds. He's doing it, and then boom, 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 signing listings. And I think he'll sign 2 more. He's got 3 more appointments today that he's going on. So Leonard, you want to hop on and talk real quick about all that?
Yeah. I mean, we've been working with Frankie forever. And I just want to say this to like anybody watching right now, because you see 4 signed listings being put up. You're probably thinking like, oh, this dude's a stud. He probably does 50 homes a year, yada, yada. No, that's not the case. This guy, we've been working with him forever. He's really struggled to find his footing, and he's done pretty well last year. But this year, he just had like a new momentum behind him, and he's just taking off like a rocket. And it's really awesome to see because, I mean, I think the most listings he's had at once is maybe 2 listings at one time. And now he's, boom, like that, signed 4 in a matter of weeks. And I think he's already got 2 under 2 other listings right now. So that puts him at 6. So you guys, you don't have to be a superstar to get started and really make this work for you. You can definitely jump in and do it.
And I think he's got a cool story too, because his first year as a realtor, he sold 5 homes. His second year, he sold 10 homes. And this year, I'm pretty sure if he can maintain this, he'll be in the 20s or 30s. So it goes to show, like Leonard is saying, is like there's a progression. There's a learning curve that everybody goes through. And you should be scaling from year to year, but it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Like he had a 4 or 5 month spurt last year with a really, really rough storm that he went through personally, but he was able to hang in there because he had the support from the brokerage team and he's in one-on-one coaching, came through that. And then now he's able to pop these off. I'd also say that he fought me for a while on reaching out to investors and expired. Sometimes realtors will watch and listen to this and they're like, I'm too good for expireds. I'm too good for door knocking. I'm too good for open houses. It's like, okay, well, enjoy nothing in your bank account. And then all of a sudden, realtors will humble themselves, do the work, and then all of a sudden they get the deals. And so if you're watching this and you're just a little too proud, humble yourself, have no shame, door knock, cold call, reach out to expireds, because your bank account does not care. where it comes from, right? So that's been really cool to watch with Frankie. All right, let's talk about Israel. Okay, Israel, unmute. So obviously things are cooking right now. Talk to us maybe about one or two things that have shifted in the last 30 to 45 days that have helped you get some good momentum.
Yeah, I mean, just getting back to my routines, right? I dropped that a little bit.
Which, real quick, by the way, is the reason you're wearing a hat because you're
I do have
ashamed.
hair.
Oh, now you have hair. Oh, that was an older picture. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and I'm real. My name is real, so I can see that. Anyway, I think yeah, it goes back to the basic. I mean, I mentioned that before last year when I hit a couple of my big goals. They were due to to the coaching I got from you, your guidance, and all that stuff. So, morning and night routines, weekly scheduling, being intentional, and then I hit a couple of big goals and kind of slow down a little bit, regret that a little bit, and that's why Jeremy's giving me a hard time saying I haven't been working the last 5 months. And maybe it's only 2.5 months, but it shows, right? It shows because it took me 30 days to get back into shape again. And yeah, so we have 4 under contract right now. Super grateful for that. One came from, well, actually 2 of them are for investors. One of them, we had 35 showings, 7 offers on it, 40,000 over asking. Then I double-ended one of my other investors listing. And then I sold an investment property probably in 2 hours. I was searching for something on the MLS. I saw this one coming up. I looked at it, ran the numbers real quick, sent it out to 5 guys. One of them said, let's go look at it. We want to look at it 7:30 at night, no lights in the house, poop everywhere, smell like dead people. So he's like, I'll take it. Sweet.
you gotta love investors.
He's like, perfect.
Yeah, that's a beautiful home.
I'll take it. So he did. So anyway, so that's what we got now going on. So, but yeah, super.
I love it.
And door knocking, the same thing. I mean, I did something that I used to do it, and because I learned from you a knock before and after. And the other day, like Jen was talking about the open houses, I was scheduled from 11 to 2. It was super busy, so I stayed until like 5:15, 5:30. Picked up my signs, and then I had great news for the neighbors. You know what I mean? We got over 40,000 over asking, so I started knocking. Went for about an hour or so. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, it was great.
It goes to show for those that are watching this is your business will kind of have these ebbs and flows, but there's certain prospecting methods that'll always work. So really it just comes down to, can you be consistent at those? Because for the last thousands of years of real estate, those methods always work. So you have Israel that was looking on the MLS for his investors, meaning he has a list of investors. You spend 1 hour a day looking for deals. You then send them to your investors. You have the right scripts. Boom. They'll buy that quick. So if you're not doing deals, you need to have more investors in your database, and you need to have the right scripts so that you understand how to connect the two. Israel runs a free monthly investor training for our brokerage team. And that's kind of one of the benefits of having Israel on our team, besides the handsome looks and his Spanish that we can't understand. But is that he runs that investor call, so more of us can do investor deals. And then door knocking, right? So he knew that he had done that in the past, came back and did it again, and then obviously it takes off. So if you're watching this, there are prospecting methods that are always going to work. Just what is the pride, or is it lack of good training? Maybe you've tried it before, it didn't work, but it's because you didn't have the right training or the community to help you do it the right way. Is that why you're not doing it? So anyway, shout out to you, Israel, absolutely crushing it. Let's move on to our book of the month. And then we're going to talk about the new workbook. So if you're watching this, the new workbook, we're going to briefly go through that here after this. So let's talk about the book of the month. So on our team, we talked about this last week, but we always have a book that we're prioritizing. This first quarter is about building a solid foundation for the year. So in the second month, we're reading The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran, and it's incredible. I just finished mine the other day. Tina is on our brokerage team in California. She runs the book club. Let's do 1 or 2 takeaways that you guys are reading, and then we'll move on to the workbook and then wrap up for the day. So anything that you guys are catching in this book that you wanted to mention or share with everybody? Jess?
Yeah. So I wrote down this quote, but we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. This really stood out to me, and it just goes right back into Davis sales training and what we are as a team. I feel like this is the foundation, right? It's about repetition and consistency and just showing up and getting better by participating in things like role play, and tracking our daily numbers and just the accountability that's there. So that in particular stood out to me.
I love that. I love that. Great takeaway, Jess. Anybody else want to share their takeaway or
Yeah, I can
thoughts
go.
from the book? Go for it,
I
Jen.
I honestly really like the book because it kind of gives you a sense of urgency. It's like you're no longer just looking at, oh my gosh, look, I have 12 months to achieve my goal. Now it's like, no, you have 12 weeks to achieve your goal. Each week is considered a month now. And it's just like that scaling. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Let me see what I can do within those 12 weeks and see if I can, it's like, see if I actually like am doubting myself just because I think I have all this time of this 12 months. Now let's shorten it and let's see if you can do it in that 12 weeks instead.
100%. Yeah. If you remember the end of last year, we read a book. It's called The Science of Scaling. And a lot of us went to the mastermind in Salt Lake recently. And that's what he talks about in the book. If you add a lot of time to your goal, then what will happen is you're going to procrastinate. You're going to get distracted. So shorten that timeline so that you can be focused and accomplish your goal. And then you have all this time in the world to go travel and do whatever you want because you hit your goal early. Like, why not go faster and hit it quicker? So I love that. Great takeaway. Okay, let's talk about the new workbook. So it's the top real estate producer schedule. I'm going to add it to the screen. So we just barely put this together. A lot of those on the call right now have implemented this, and it's really helped their business. Most realtors, the number one question they ask is, what am I supposed to do every day? And how do I get leads? If you don't know what you're supposed to do and you're not generating a lot of leads, you'll be out of the business pretty dang quick. And a lot of you on the call, it's taken a minute to like really just push to rearrange your schedule so that it allows for consistent prospecting. Because if you don't do that, again, just not enough people know who you are. You run out of time, and then all of a sudden you're out of the business. So if you want this workbook, comment top producer schedule down below wherever you're watching this, or DM any of us. This workbook is for free. And then we'll have you hop in our worldwide free training group, and we talk about this quite a bit. So the workbook, how it works is we break down time blocking, and then we put your values into your schedule. So you live a life by values, and it's by design, not by default. And the people you care about and the things you care about actually get addressed every day. And then it goes through your business plan. So now you take your prospecting pillars that you chose, the ones that actually give you good quality leads, and then you put that into your schedule. And after you do all three of those, the time blocking, the values, and your business plan, your schedule to some degree should look like this. You have your values taken care of, you have your time block set up, and you're prospecting every day to grow your business. So anyone want to comment on this or just your experience over the last couple months adjusting your schedule so that it actually not only takes care of your values, but allows you to build your business as well? I know a lot of you it's taken a minute to like really push through this.
For me, it's been extremely tricky. And you and I have had lots of conversations about this because I'm juggling a lot, right? I'm not just a realtor, I'm a mom and juggling a lot as a mom and a wife. And so I think I finally have it figured out to where there's a little bit more harmony in my schedule, not balance per se, but I would say that this in particular has been one of the greatest assets that I've gotten out of being a part of this team, is because this is something that I've really, really struggled with. And, just starting yesterday, like I said, I think I finally got this figured out where Clint and I are now going to the gym. We're waking up an hour earlier than what we were. We're getting that out of the way, but we're also spending our quality time. And then I come home, I hit my meetings, do my journaling, my 10 minutes of reading in the morning, like nothing crazy. And then I can jump in, help my kids, and then get right back to my work schedule without feeling overwhelmed and being bombarded by everything. So I've really appreciated this packet.
Well, that's what's fun too, is everybody's schedule is so different, right?
Oh,
You're going to have people like you, Jess, that have a lot of hats that they're responsible for every day. You're going to have people like Leonard that don't and just have dogs and and himself and his old lady. And then you're going to have people like Israel and I that have a lot of responsibilities that we cover, as well as Mitch and Jen. Everybody's schedule is so different, but the principles and how you build that schedule should be exactly the same. It'll just look different on the end side of things, but the same things should go into that. So I love that. Anybody else have any last thoughts as we wrap up on that new packet, and then we'll send this off?
I think kind of piggybacking on what Jess was talking about. I was talking to a couple of realtors that are going to be they're part-times. One of them is joining our team and stuff like that. So exactly to have this schedule allows you to know, hey, if I only have 4 hours, how effective I'm going to be on those 4 hours. Because sometimes, part-time realtors, I mean, we all might start at that point, right? Which is great. Nothing wrong with that. But just how I'm going to use those 4 hours, or how am I going to use those 2 days that I only have off from my normal job to work on real estate. So if you have it organized, so now you're working, maybe 10 hours, 15 hours a week, but they're going to be super powerful hours, and instead of just not knowing what to do. So I love this. Yeah, it's great.
100%. I love it. Well, let's wrap up today's episode. Thanks a ton. If you've watched it all the way to the end, remember to get into our Tuesday free call. That's free for all realtors worldwide. It's a 30-minute live call where we train on how a realtor got a deal, how to replicate it in 72 hours. And then Israel pays you $1,000, $100, just so everyone doesn't get mad at us for what we say on a live call. And then you have the workbook. If you want that, comment workbook or free top producer schedule, and we'll make sure we get that out to you. But there's lots of ways that we can provide help. Or if you're open to talking to us about the brokerage team, we'd love to have that conversation. We're going to have 125 realtors on this team by the end of the year, and it's going to be a stretch, but we're looking for leaders. So if you want to come and you're a leader and you've done real estate, or you haven't done real estate and you want to be part of this culture, we'd love to at least have that conversation. Every Thursday, we have our team call, runs for 75 minutes. We have our call today. If you want to get on that and just check out our team, we allow you to come twice, comment free brokerage team training, and we'll make sure we sync up with you. Thanks a ton for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you next week.